You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, in my opinion anyway, and it's just my opinion, I believe Kevin Stefanski has lost his power. All right, lost his power with the Cleveland Browns. I think it's firmly an Andrew Berry, Jimmy Haslam show. Just call me guessing. But when you make moves like this, and look, I've got Shedeur Sanders stuff in here. I've got Cleveland media crashing out this morning over Shedeur Sanders. Good stuff. It is really good stuff. I love it when a good media outlet, sports radio host has an ever-loving meltdown. Man, Rizzo had one this morning. Another major Jaguars-Browns trade. Of course, everybody's seen this by now, probably. You went down last night. Jaguars get cornerback Greg Newsome, and the Jets 2026 sixth-round pick from the Browns. Browns get Tyson Campbell, and Eagles 2026 seventh-round pick from the Jags. All right, so the trade partners from the night of the 2025 draft, of course, the Travis Hunter trade. Now, in case you're wondering, look, there's no way in hell that a coach, NFL coach, agrees to make this trade. So, like he come out and said, Stefanski said, I was surprised when I heard about Joe Flacco. I bet you were even more surprised when you heard about this one. So, Greg Newsome's a hell of a cornerback, by the way. PFF's cornerback grades, he's tied with Christian Gonzalez. Now, in case you guys don't know, and the only reason Gonzalez is probably not higher is because he's only played in 2 games. Christian Gonzalez, I think he's a top 5 cornerback in the National Football League. So let's scroll down. All right, where's Tyson Campbell? Well, he's number 71. Now, if you want a bright side, well, you could say he's number 71 out of 96. So there's at least there's 25 guys that are worse rated on PFF's grades at cornerback than Tyson Campbell. All right, so that's something, right? Oh man, here we go. Very interesting nuggets all over the place. Quote, it's clear that Dillon Gabriel is Kevin Stefanski's guy and Shedeur Sanders is Andrew Berry's guy. Y'all want me to believe that? We have the verses between the general manager and the head coach of the Cleveland Browns. I think there is officially a schism. Man, I finally get to use that word. 6 years. I've been waiting for a reason to drop the schism. It sounds pornographic, to be honest with you. Wasn't there a rap song? No, that's something else. Anyway, schism between the coach and the general manager.
Oh, it's clearly a disconnect. And I'm not quite sure whether or not they're going to get on the same page, that being the general manager, Andrew Berry, and the head coach, Kevin Stefanski. And I go back to the optics of the war room for the Cleveland Browns when they took Shedeur Sanders. You saw this icy stare down from both Stefanski and Berry. And, Evan, we all took that to mean that Shedeur Sanders was a pick that both of them were against, and that maybe Jimmy Haslam put his thumb on the scale and got involved in football decisions. But based on what we've been hearing and the speculation around the Cleveland Browns quarterback room, specifically with the rookies, it's clear that Dillon Gabriel is Kevin Stefanski's guy and Shedeur Sanders is Andrew Berry's guy. We have the versus between the general manager and the head coach of the Cleveland Browns. This might be the first time in this regime's tenure where you actually see a little bit of daylight between them. Because every major decision, including the big swing that they took to trade for and pay Deshaun Watson, everybody has been in lockstep. This feels like the first moment where there's a fissure, where there is a fraction in that working relationship, and we're watching it play out in real time on the field.
Okay, I wonder, do Cleveland fans want to keep Andrew Berry too? If they get rid of Stefanski, or you want to clean house and hire a coach and a general manager at the same time that are in, quote, lockstep? You know what happens here? And he said, oh, we're finding out now it wasn't Jimmy Haslam that made the Shedeur Sanders pick. I don't believe that. But what I do believe has happened, and general managers are real good at it, Ryan Poles, Trent Baalke, who actually finally got the heave-ho when Liam Cohen got fired down in Jacksonville. What you get is the general manager is the guy that gets to spend the most time rubbing elbows with the owner, all right? So Andrew Berry, not a big Shedeur Sanders guy. Oh, but Jimmy Haslam wants to see him play. Rub elbows, rub elbows. So you're seeing, yeah, Andrew Berry is becoming more Shedeur Sanders pro because he's trying to keep his job. He's trying to keep his job now. All right? And they're probably going to fire Stefanski, which I think that's where this is now going. Okay, more. This is Riz. And this is Riz this morning. All right, got a couple of things from Riz. But it's on the fracture of the marriage of head coach and GM.
Took us by surprise. You mean you traded one of the team's quarterbacks and didn't consult with the head coach? That, my friends, is news. That is the first time we have seen the Berry-Stefanski marriage. Stefanski sleeping on the couch.
Not the couch. Not that. I've been in some relationships. I'd rather be on the couch, to be honest with you. Yeah. Just keeping it real. It's safer on the couch sometimes. I'd rather sleep with the dogs on the couch sometimes. Is Andrew Berry undermining Kevin Stefanski's ability to coach? Interesting. Aaron Goldhammer.
Kevin has come under a lot of fire this week, and rightfully so. What happened against Minnesota in London, it was not his best day, admittedly. Browns fans want him fired. But for Andrew to be making all these moves from underneath him and then running Kevin up to the podium to try to explain what's happening with them,
hold on.
That is 7 and 9 bull bleed.
Okay, you're assuming a lot there. He was in on this. He was just surprised the Bengals called. He didn't say, I didn't know about it. He didn't say. So we're assuming, Chris brought this up on Tony Rizzo's show, exclusively on YouTube from 8 to 9 every morning. You think he and Andrew are still in lockstep.
The surprise is not that Stefanski didn't know.
Well, that's not what you had literally just said. Stefanski's sleeping on the couch during the same damn show. I think you've seen Andrew Berry do what most of these GMs do. All right, because there's a theory that if John Mara moves on from Brian Daboll, Joe Shane is staying. In Chicago, they got rid of Matt Eberflus. Ryan Poles stayed. They were going to keep Trent Baalke in Jacksonville, and Liam Cohen said, I literally will not take this damn job. And Baalke had been through like 2 head coaches. Khan was going to keep Baalke. Andrew Berry's like, oh, I made all. Look at me, willing and Dillon. I'm doing all these great things. Shedeur's my boy. Yeah. Oh, what? What? Say what? Nah, you didn't want him. I don't believe that for a second. You didn't want him. But now you're realizing, okay, the owner probably wants to see Shedeur Sanders play, so I'm trying to keep my job. And now it's Kevin Stefanski and Dillon Gabriel against Shedeur Sanders and whatever. Maybe. There's still a Deshaun Watson lurking in the darkness of the woods. Believe that. That's a thing, folks. That Deshaun Watson thing is a deal. That's a thing. All right, Rizzo's going to lose his mind on Grossi.
Is there any way the Browns would trade Shedeur Sanders before the deadline, Tony?
I don't think anybody wants him, Riz.
Okay.
I'm being honest.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
the Raiders passed on Tom Brady.
Yeah, I know, but it's
knows
different
him.
circumstances now, Tony.
Well,
the
they got
Raiders thought
Pickett
Geno
now.
Smith. Wait. The Raiders
They
thought
got Pickett.
Tell you the Raiders thought Geno Smith could play and he can't. So for a
Okay, well, if you follow this channel, and I've got another video coming on that Raiders, Geno Smith, Chip Kelly situation, because Pete Carroll has come out and made comments, and then now it's going around. It's clear they think they got an OC problem in Vegas, not a Geno Smith problem. But Grossi's right. They already called the Browns, and the Browns sent them Kenny Pickett, not Shedeur Sanders. They didn't ask for Sanders. They asked for Pickett. We know Tom Brady's philosophy. He's not trading for Shedeur Sanders. Not going to happen.
fourth-round pick or fifth-round pick, you take a flyer on a guy, you don't think anybody would do that.
I don't, Riz.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay.
I mean,
Why
when they
would
needed
no
one, they
why
asked
would
for
no
Pickett.
Why would no one want Shedeur Sanders?
Because I think everyone made their statement about what they thought of him during the draft.
Yeah, but Tony, that was 7 months ago.
Well, he's not gotten any better, Riz.
Well, they don't know. I'm just saying, but like,
They see the film of the Rams game.
did they see the film of the Panthers
And
game?
the kick, yeah, I know, yeah,
Oh.
that
That
Super
game,
Bowl
see,
performance.
to you,
yeah,
that
they
game
have
doesn't count. Okay,
Well, it
to
was
me,
the
that
first
game
game.
counted for something. It did. And by the way,
It's a
he
what
was
have you
playing
done
with
for
the
me
twos.
lately
By the
league.
way, he was playing with the twos. You're blatant. You just blatantly. The guy played with 4 offensive linemen that didn't make the team, and you're just dismissing that as if it meant
And he-
nothing. At no point did Dillon Gabriel play with 4 offensive linemen that are no longer on the team. Call it for
Well,
what it is, please.
The league
for
knows.
the love of
The
God,
league knows
just
who
give
was
me
on the
that.
field.
For the
Riz.
love of God.
The league knows who was on the field. Okay, that's no excuse for anything. That happens to backup quarterbacks all over
Well,
the
then
league.
what in the world is
preseason.
this kid doing on the Browns roster now if he's as bad as you think he is?
It's
I'm
not how
sorry,
I
I'm
think he
sorry,
is.
as
It's-
the whole
it's-
freaking league thinks he is, according to you.
Yes.
You think the whole league
Yeah.
thinks he sucks. Why is he on a roster? Why is
I tell you one of his problems, Shedeur's problems now. The league, cat's out of the bag. And it's confirmed. They confirmed it. Even worse, the whole rest of the league looks at Shedeur and Dion and goes, y'all turned down the Eagles and the Ravens. I mean, Lamar's missing again this week. While Shedeur is lurking behind, Shedeur could be lurking behind. He hasn't been named QB2 yet. Probably get named that today, maybe. Or it may be Sunday morning before the game. It's going to be a hell of a statement if it's Dillon Gabriel, Bailey Zappi. Then the rest of the league's going to go, yikes. And on top of it, Stefanski's friends with O'Connell and all these guys across the league, offensive guys. And make no mistake, Cleveland fans may want to shit on Stefanski. He is widely respected across the league as an offensive guy and a quarterback guy, by the way. That may drive everybody crazy. That it just is what it is. Like people think he's McVay adjacent kind of guy. O'Connell adjacent kind of guy. He's not them, but it's like, okay, a B. If they're an A, they think he's a B. He'll be on a team. Like, the Eagles would probably take him in a heartbeat right now at OC. Shit, I bet the Raiders would. With that mess they got going on. I think there's a chance no team in the league and this is why it's so important to follow all the protocols and everything set up prior to the draft, blah, 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 because it creates a reputation. Right? That's what I told John. I said, could he be out of the league if he ends up getting let out? And he said, well, somebody will pick him up. And we came to the conclusion that Jerry Jones might pick up Shedeur as a favor to Dion. And that's it. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how this goes. Getting interesting. I do think Stefanski better win some games quick, or he's going to be in trouble. He may be in trouble regardless. He's going to have to rattle. I think in order to not get fired in the next 3 weeks, he needs to get a couple wins right quick. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.